welcome. You're watching the Social Network. Now, Foreign Affairs Minister Salman Khurshid yesterday spoke in Brazil and in a complete change from his earlier stand on US snooping said that a framework does need to be worked out to protect the privacy, security, sovereignty and the freedom of expression of the cyberspace, something we've been saying on the Social Network for many weeks now. But Brazil, remember, has been the front runner in the protection of cyberspace, and they are working on setting up their own email service. But in India, the Delhi police is now the second to Mumbai to set up a social media cell which will cyber patrol Facebook and Twitter. So the state talks about protection from foreign surveillance while it continues to set up internal surveillance mechanisms. And what about the protection for the users? And that's what we discussed on the Social Network today. Now, Delhi police snoop on social media. You can tweet us your comments. The Twitter handle at TSN on NDTV. Let's quickly introduce our panelists who are going to be speaking to us on this particular topic. We've got Jayjeet Bhattacharya, who is a cybersecurity expert. He's in the Delhi studio with us. And we're also joined by Anil Shukla. Okay, he'll be joining us in just a bit. He is, of course, the ACP of the Delhi police, and he's going to be talking about, what safeguards they have in place to ensure that users are not, in fact, picked up for no apparent fault at all. Okay, Jayjeet, I just want to start with you while we wait for Mr. Anil Shukla to join us. Does this sound worrying to you?
Yeah, no, absolutely, yes. So let's look at the situation per se. So technology does move fast, and misuse of technology moves faster. And therefore, you do need the police to move fast, but not without a regulatory framework. The point is that one can have the police indulging in high-handedness in the cyberspace, and especially when you look at it in conjunction with Section 66A of the IT Act, which itself is very high-handed in the manner in which it has been constructed. It's a very potent mechanism to misuse the trust in the cyberspace. So you can get in and you can violate privacy. You can get into the net and use your governmental powers to leverage the social media sites such as Facebook and Twitter to get into accounts which are usually privacy protected and get out information which are clearly a violation of privacy. And you're using taxpayers' money in a way to snoop on the taxpayers. So,
but I want to ask you this, and of course, if Mr. Shukla were here, he would be probably defending himself as well. Just want to say, there are now, with of course the information coming largely on the internet and the cyberspace becoming such a huge space now for for so many activities, criminal activities as well as terrorist activities. To actually, so much of the information is exchanged there. Isn't the government also supposed to keep and bear that in mind as their role when they're looking at law and order to ensure that that's something that they've got their eye very firmly on?
And of course, yes, no doubts about it, because that's the role of the government. We need to be secure, and cyberspace has been misused many number of times earlier. The Bangalore riots being a classic example where social media was used to fuel the riots. So we're not saying that the police should not be looking into that. What we're saying is there's an absence of regulatory framework. Who decides what needs to be snooped at?
All right. Okay. Jayjeet, I'm going to interrupt you because we're just joined by Anil Shukla, Mr. Anil Shukla. Thank you, sir, so much for joining us. One of the things that's coming up over and over, and of course, everybody recognizes the need for the government agencies to provide a certain law and order and certain security characteristic. But is there, sir, any safeguard to ensure that users are not unnecessarily harassed?
Well, let me put few things up front. Delhi police launched a Facebook web page on the traffic police in 2010, and we've got overwhelming response. And it's a very popular page. More than 35 lakh posts have been posted on this page, and it is used for exchange of information. It is used for prosecution. It is used for giving alerts of traffic and other related activities.
Right. I know, sir.
So
and of course,
social media has turned out to be a very good mechanism.
I know, sir, and we do recognize that, of course, the Delhi police has done, taken far more strident measures. But I think the specific question I'm trying to ask over here is, while we understand that the state needs to keep a certain amount of watch on intelligence activities and pick up on any criminal activities or criminal information going around, but are there any safeguards that you've put in place to ensure that users are not unnecessarily harassed?
Well, I think you're presuming a lot of things to begin with. there is no such thing as being projected by your channel that there is a undercover operation and things like that. I think you're going by some media reports. Whenever this would be any kind of a cyber patrol or anything, as you have been mentioning, would be launched, obviously there would be safeguard, there would be permissions from the relevant authorities that be. So I think it's very presumptuous on your part to say that there is an undercover operation which is going on, and there will be cyber patrolling which is happening.